I'm going to match the color of the CD, and I'll start with Pylo Red, Ultramarine Blue, and Hansa Yellow Opaque. Titanium White to lighten that up. It looks too warm, so I'll add more Ultramarine Blue to it. So this is Titanium White. It looks too purple, so I'll add some yellow into there. And I think it needs more blue. So I'm going to work on the background a little bit, just to get this edge of the CD defined. This top part needs to be a little darker. This section needs to get lighter. There's a highlight that goes along the edge of the CD, and it's going to be tricky to get this in here. The gray background here has to be a little bit darker at the bottom. That looks pretty good. I'm going to match the colors of this glass of water. This is Ultramarine Blue, and a little bit of Pylo Red, and some Titanium White, and then this highlight right here is much lighter. And then the edge of the glass goes about right here. I think I'll work on some of these reflections up here. The color, that blue needs to get darker. I think I'll put some of the background color in. It'll be easier to work on the edge of the glass once I have a color next to it. So this is Ultramarine Blue and Titanium White, a little bit of Pylo Red. The color is kind of bluish purple. Just trying to soften this up a little bit. I think this blue background needs more paint on it. It's a little streaky. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to match the color of the sky, and I'll start with Ultramarine Blue and Titanium White. I think it needs a little magenta and some yellow. A little bit more white. More blue. More yellow. It's way too much on my brush. I still think it needs more blue. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to match the color of this jigsaw, and this is Ultramarine Blue, Pylo Red, and Hansa Yellow Opaque. It's much too dark, so I'll add some Titanium White to it. It needs to go more blue and lighter. It looks like the jigsaw has more yellow in it. More white in this part. So this part looks pretty good. I think maybe I'll work on the shadow area and then fill in the background too. That looks pretty good. I'm going to match the color of the snow, and I'll start with white, Ultramarine Blue, small amount of red, more blue, it's looking pretty good. I think it needs some yellow though. I think yellow will help make it a little bit duller. Still more blue. That's looking pretty close right there. I think that's it. I'm going to match the color of my skin, and this is Hansa Yellow Opaque, Pylo Red to make it orange. It needs to get lighter. It's too vivid, so I'll add some Ultramarine Blue to it. That makes it green, so some quinacridone magenta will balance that out. Some Ultramarine Blue. It's a balance between the magenta and the Ultramarine Blue, and then that's much too dark, so I'll add some more white to it. It's starting to get close. I see more magenta in my skin. Needs to go whiter. It's pretty good. I think maybe a little more blue. Just a touch of magenta. Or white. A little bit of magenta. I think that's it. I'm going to match the color of this apple. This is Parallel Red. It's too bright, so I'll add some ultramarine blue to it. Titanium white. More ultramarine blue. A little bit of yellow. I think a little more blue on the top to make it darker. That looks pretty good. Maybe I'll work on the background. That looks pretty good.